Welcome in. It is the ATB show at the buzzer. You can join us at atbshow.com. You can go to the YouTube channel and you can like and subscribe and share and comment. We'd love for you to do that. Our dear friends Joe and Leslie at AAA Work Trucks tolerate our stupidity. And I don't know, like I feel like this is Lent. This is the perfect time to have the conversation. When we get to the end after the Last Supper and they're all being questioned if they know Jesus, I feel like under stern questioning, Joe and Leslie be like, "We don't know who they are. We've never met them. I do not know this Jesus you speak of." And I couldn't agree more, because I don't know that we all want to admit that we know each other. But we do gather here once a week to talk sports. Lots going on. We have a Luke cold stove with the Red Sox, because they're at least, not that they're making any moves on anybody. The season has started, but the game the other day, was it yesterday? And this is how feeble I am. Welcome. I'm watching the game yesterday afternoon, the 1:00 game, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I sort of forgot that the Blue Jays are really good, and it was a track meet that we, thank God, won 7-6. Not that it matters, because it's just preseason, but Red Sox got some mojo going right now. They're hitting the ball well, which is pretty exciting. So we'll touch on Red Sox. I'm sure Rubber Shoes has some update from Fenway, or no update from Fenway, or from Fenway South. I don't know. Bruins conversations, because trade deadlines are coming up for the NHL. When is Jason coming back? Is Jason coming back? Is 314 really a thing? Have you heard that rumor?
Yeah.
That is the area code for St. Louis, so he might be waiting until 314 to come back, just so he has the numerology on his side. And, of course, the Combine's happening. So bunches of things. I don't know where you boys want to start, but I'll let you figure out where we're going to start. Go ahead, boys. What do we want to talk about first? Do we want to clear the deck with the Red Sox? Should we clear the deck with the Red Sox? Just get it out of the way?
I think it's more like, to me, at least, when it comes to the Red Sox and stuff, yeah, but what it is. But to me, it's everyone just knock on wood, make sure everybody that is there from at the WBC, like Roman Anthony and others, that they come back healthy. That's the only thing I care about right now.
Yep. Yeah, I've got.
They just kicked off, or I guess
Roman Anthony just hit a 2-run homer for Team USA.
Yeah, as he should.
I'm paying attention, but I'm not paying attention. I've got the 9-1. They're playing San Francisco right now. Yes.
Yeah. So but everyone just hopefully they come back healthy. As for the Sox, like, I'm excited for the season. Like, the season, and obviously we're not doing predictions or anything. I just booked rooms over for the cheer festivities that happen on opening day for the 26th.
The Chicken and Beer Festival
and stuff. So just get some rooms.
I love that.
I
love that.
Oh yeah.
I've only ever been there for golf, and I always forget.
Really looking forward to the season. But,
I always forget that you guys go and you do the sim while you're there. Yes, you're not outside. You do the sim.
Well, playing right now, so it's most likely And
we're not doing.
A little light on the crowd this year. But.
Yeah, Nate just poked his head in at about 4:00. He's like, we're gonna shut everything down at 4:30, and of course I'm just, because I specialize in this department. I'm an asshole. So I'm like, a whole 30 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Scrooge. Which, hey, I'm doing the show anyway. I wasn't flying out the door at 4:30 either way, because, like, all you're going to do is probably get in traffic with a whole bunch of other people that are leaving the office early because of the snow. Yeah. Like 4:30, Route 16, heading north, Scotty. I don't need to tell you that's not, like, I'm not. I'll be better off waiting till after the show. It'll be fine. But I agree with you, Scotty. I'm excited for the Red Sox. Like, a lot of young kids. We are who we are. This is going to be what it's going to be. And the pitching lineup, to Rubber Shoes' point, and I know you mentioned it, and I've heard people say it ad nauseum on Boston radio on both stations, like, the pitching lineup is super good. And if we can get some people to run around the bases while we're pitching really well, it might not be horrible. I hate to make it sound like that, but, like, I'm excited because there's so many young kids on the team, and if we do well, great. If we don't, we can just complain and blame it on Breslow, I suppose. But anywho,
right now I'm excited for the WBC to start, so I can't wait to watch that. That's and then after that, then I'll be turning the page to the Sox. But they've looked good. Their regular players have looked pretty good, which they've actually been playing them in spring training right off the bat. They've been getting a lot of action because they wanted them to play before they got sent out to the WBC. So it was nice seeing their starters playing a lot the last couple weeks.
Isn't that the challenge? Yeah. Like somebody was talking the other day about Contreras and that he might be an everyday first baseman. Doesn't it feel like the probability of him
he is their everyday first baseman?
No, stay with me though on this. And will he be? Just because of the way Alex runs everything, and he just moves people around quite a bit, or do you think he's actually going to leave him planted on first?
Well, because of the roster that they gave him, he's going to have to do a lot of moving people around with when it comes to matchups, because he doesn't really have guys that are everyday players.
Yeah,
it's like they're playing games with Marcelo Meyer, so I don't know if he's going to be up here or not to start the season. So unfortunately, I was listening to, watching the Sports Hub on TV today, and they're talking that the Red Sox are acting like a small market team. Like you're probably not going to see Connor Early up here unless it's injury related that he actually gets up here. Same with Peyton Tolley. They want to keep both those guys down in the minors because they want to get an extra year of service that they don't have to pay them. And they said it's going to be harder to play the game with Meyer because he played so much last year, because they don't have you push the year out when you're not on the roster, when they're not on the main club roster for a full year. They get to push the time for another year. Yeah. So, Early and Totally only played, a month last year. So they're gonna play the game with them, try to string it along as possible, that they don't bring them up until I think usually the day is like June 1st. If they hold them off till June 1st, it doesn't count, something like that. So, yeah, it's disappointing, but I've been so actually seeing Durbin play in spring training. I remember him in the playoffs last year with the Brewers. He was a pretty good player last year in the playoffs. He might do some fun things for us.
He was third pretty good. He was third in NL Rookie of the Year voting. I mean, he's a Pedroia-like clone. You know what I mean? He's like a dirt dog kind of guy, and yeah, I think he's going to be near and dear to Red Sox fans' hearts for sure. It is disappointing about the Mayer conversation, though. It sucks that's if that's how it goes down. Yeah. I think there's a lot of fans that are looking forward to seeing him more this year, and if they're going to play it like that, that's going to be that sucks. That's not going to be fun for a lot of people. And honestly, do they have a plethora of infielders that they can put in there? I mean, they have the Kinsner, whatever his name is there, the utility guy, and obviously Durbin and Story and guys, RKF. Yeah, thank you. And they have these guys, but it's I don't know if we have to wait till June 1st, then we have to wait till June 1st. But it's come on. You just also gave Christian Campbell how much money, during his April run, and then you're going to leave him down there too.
Well, I think so. They were saying that's another reason why they're kind of playing the game because, Meyer, not Meyer, Campbell.
Uh-oh. Here we go. I love this.
Be me.
Here we go.
No, I'm good.
You're engine 1, right?
Ladder 2.
Ladder 2. All right.
Ladder. Huh.
Scotty, we
You
got to
guys-
do a
you-
ride. We got to do a ride along. Can you see
Yeah.
us doing the show from the truck?
I just want to know, like, do I get to ride the ladder, or is it just, do you have an engine too? It's like, is it just a ladder?
Because I'm on the ladder, but we have an engine and a ladder out of this station.
I'm just thinking like the black and white, things that with no sound. They're just out there with the ladder. Just like running around. That's all I see people doing.
All I picture is the episode from Seinfeld with Kramer on the back of the fire truck. That's all I ever. Rubber shoes on the back of the fire truck. Getting shit thrown at him by our beautiful downtown Lowellians. Oh my God. Anyway, all right. So you're safe for now. Excellent.
Yeah.
Has anybody on this show, be honest, God's watching, has anybody purchased tickets to Fenway yet?
Nope.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, I sort of know Rubber Shoes. You're just going to wait for Joe and Leslie to throw tickets at you because that's what you do. I'm not saying that's what you do.
I will be going
That's
to.
what you're availed to do because they just keep throwing tickets at you. It's a smart play.
I'll be going to Atlanta to see them play the Braves in May.
Nice.
All right.
That'll
Very
be
cool.
our vacation this year. We're gonna go to Atlanta, and then depending on, we'll see how the weather is in Myrtle Beach versus Virginia Beach, and figure out where we're gonna go after Atlanta. But
That sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I bought tickets for my dad's birthday. Stevie and I took them last year.
Yeah.
The boys have shown interest of going to Fenway because they haven't been. So they've definitely shown interest. So we'll
Logan
figure that
hasn't
out.
been yet. Really?
I don't. I was looking back and I'm like, I don't think he has. We've been to Celtics and Pats and stuff, but I don't think they've been to Fenway. We've gone.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how many Sea Dog games we've been to, or Fisher Cats or whatever, but like minor league stuff, but nothing. I don't think they've ever been to Fenway. So, which is a poor move on my part. Well, it is and it isn't. It's also they're not
there's no judgment in my statement. That's just going to be a seminal
No,
moment.
it's like
you got to stand behind them and let them walk up the ramp together.
Exactly.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's the shot that you and Amy want. Your two boys walking into Fenway for the first time. That's mothership,
like,
dude.
It's like it's kind of what to piggyback on what like where Billy's stance is, right? It is my, like for like the American father taking their kids to Fenway, you know what I mean, or whatever for America's pastime. But we go to New England, we go to Gillette more because it's expensive, but at least they they're putting on a product for the most part, and they also care for the game a bit more. And then on top of that, the tickets are just really expensive at Fenway, no matter where you sit now. And the last season and then this year, it looks exciting too, but they haven't really been putting a good product out there. And so it's not something that, people have been really interested, or the boys have been really interested in.
Yeah,
So,
no,
but it sounds like this year we'll make a trek. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
figure last year, Steph and I went to Philly, drove to Philly, stayed a night, and got 2 tickets to the game for
$38.
cheaper than it and where we sat. It was cheaper than if we tried to sit in the same seats at Fenway. It would have cost more to go to Fenway
just for your seats at Fenway.
Yeah,
like I bet your travel and your hotel included in your ticket price was probably still less.
Yeah, the whole trip was probably cheaper. I mean, or about the same.
That's what I think a lot of people don't realize is the differentiation between the average professional Boston sports ticket and the rest of the country. Like people just don't like tickets are crazy. It's like, well, no, we've done this to ourselves, and I'm not going to go down this road because everybody decides to go on StubHub and get their tickets, but just in the way in which the accoutrement at the stadiums has changed and the the pricing of tickets have changed. You don't have, and the story's happening right now. If you pay attention to what's happening to the Bills in the, what is it called? Highmark. It's the new Highmark Stadium, which opens in September for the Bills. There are season ticket holders, generational season ticket holders who could not afford to move across the street. They're letting them go because they can't afford to make the move across the street, which is fascinating. And kudos to Mr. Kraft and the Kraft organization. And they're about to do it again with the soccer pitch they're going to build over by Encore. I don't know with the soccer pitch, but he did everything to make Gillette happen, which was pennies back then. Like we have a very it's beautiful again with the big screen and the new lighthouse and stuff. They've made it look a little bit more modern, but we have to remind ourselves That is a 25-year-old stadium now, which is crazy when you think about it. And they've done a good job with it. They've Fenwayed it to some extent. But you have to remember, he dropped all of his cash. The only money that Foxborough / the state of Massachusetts put in was the infrastructure. And somehow, in fixing Route 1, they made it worse, but we don't have time for that. That's a whole mini-series. We'll be doing that. We'll be doing that over on the Discovery Network later this fall. It's just, it's absolute madness. Anyway, so, yeah, it's really interesting to see what the crowds are going to be like at Fenway now that we're in year 2 of they didn't really make any changes, which is interesting.
But they're still a young, exciting team, and they have good pitching and stuff. So I think Fenway will be turned out pretty well. At least as long as obviously they have to show up and play. But yeah, and that goes back to like my very first point, which is Roman, don't get hurt. Nobody get Garrett Crochet, don't get hurt. These guys don't get hurt. I did see like they sent I saw like in between my 17 meetings today, I saw like a poster. Someone posted the lineup.
You had one of those too, huh? I can't feel my eyes today.
No. I started my new job, which has been amazing. My new role at my company, and it's been, it's been amazing. But
they're listening. He loves every minute of it, Corbin. He loves it. He loves it. Yeah.
But they showed I saw like a lineup card for USA, and I just like it's nuts. It's absolutely insane how just, and obviously and I saw like one of the World Baseball Classic like site, and they ranked the countries. Where do you think we landed? I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. Take a wild guess.
2 or 3.
Nope. I'm gonna go 1.
Nope. 4th.
Oh.
Yeah, 4th. So you had basically you had 2 different like Japanese or China and Japanese or whatever. I forget those. Those were 1 and 2, or no, those were 2 and 3, and then Venezuela was 1.
Okay.
So they had Venezuela as 1, and then they had us as 4. And I was kind of surprised too. I was like, wow.
I've just heard so much positive stuff about our team. I was just throwing a dart at the wall.
At our team, I felt like they would be like top 3 at least, but no. So we'll see. Obviously we'll see what happens. But I can't wait.
It's the end of the 7th, 13-1 right now.
Well, the one disappointing thing I've heard is Tarek Skubal's only pitching 1 game.
Yep, I did hear that too.
He's pitching against.
I don't want to dive down into the Detroit Tiger path because I don't really give that much of a shit about that organization. But they are on they have a weird situation here with him. Are they going to pay him? Are they not going to pay him? Is he going to be a free agent? Or not free agent, but they're going to lose him for nothing, which makes him a free agent. But trade him, whatever. They have to figure out what they're going to do with him because it has to be this season. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that situation because obviously the best left-handed arm in all of baseball, or right next to Garrett Crochet, in my opinion. Like those two are kind of 1A, 1B. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And I do not expect the Red Sox to be in any kind of a running for him, but it's just a wild situation in Detroit and how that organization, if they let him go, oof, man, that'll be, there'll be some more Detroit riots.
Yeah.
I shouldn't make fun. That was a terrible time. Anyway.
Anywho. Bruins, is the trade deadline Thursday or tomorrow for the NHL?
I think it's Thursday.
No research done over here at this desk.
But I don't expect the Bruins to do anything.
Well, do you think there'd be sellers though? Just with so many kids
Friday
coming.
at 3:00.
And the is it when?
Friday at 3:00.
Oh, it's Friday at 3. Okay. I thought it was Thursday. Okay, Friday at 3. Okay.
I mean, I don't know how many guys off the roster they'd be willing to let go, even the young guys, because their big problem is they're pretty hard against the cap, so they got to keep those cheap players, and So even if they wanted to trade draft picks for a player, they really can't squeeze another player in with the because who you'd be sending down doesn't free up enough cap space for them. So I think you're stuck with this roster going forward.
And they're in the 8th seed right now. Obviously, they're 2 points up, I think, or something like that. They're only a couple, but they're in the 8th, so they're in the playoffs, but barely.
Yeah, but they're only. I think they're what? Like, I think they could be in second place. They're like what, 3 points or 4 points between them and second place.
9 points between Tampa Bay and Boston.
Well, Tampa Bay's first place. So I'm saying second place.
Oh, division. You're thinking division. I was thinking looking at conference. Apologies. Yep, my bad. So it's a 5-point difference between them and Buffalo, right, and Detroit. But yeah, Detroit, Buffalo, and Montreal are just clustered together, like right above the Bruins are. So.
Central Station Alarm, 9 Central Street at the Wine and Exchange Building.
Oh, not ladder 2.
Nope.
Engine 2. I keep saying ladder 2.
Did I hear something about wine? I heard something. I don't know. That's how I just need to start drinking.
1,000 years ago, I do believe it was episode 2. Rubbish Shoes was called Burgers and Tots. Do you remember that? Way back in the day.
Yep.
Burgers and Tots.
That one.
That's when I was still working downtown.
That was fantastic. Burgers and Tots. Yeah, I mean, I think the most outlandish thing I've heard this week is somebody saying, do you think they'd move Swayman? Which would free up a ton of money, but it's a massive contract. And I don't know. I mean, we got the same general manager we had when we moved Marchand, and I don't, and anything is possible. I mean, do I think they're going to do it? No, but that would be the biggest release of some cash. I mean,
I don't think anyone would want his contract.
Well, yeah, it's such a, they'd have to eat it. And the Jacobs are not going to want to do that either. That would be counterintuitive. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be a ton of movement. I just think there's a greater chance that they just let some people go and free some stuff up. And, although they are obviously still on the precipice of being in the playoffs.
I think the only thing you're hoping is that they bring up the kids from BC when they're done.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because there's a handful of, I think there's 5 right now. There's 5 right now at BC. And I just, the obvious move would get, is get Letourneau and Hagens because they're a ridiculous combination right now at Chestnut Hill, even though it's not really showing up because we decided to forget how to play hockey. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see who moves after the college playoffs are over with.
Oh, speaking of college hockey,
yes,
I did a detail at the Songus Arena Saturday night for a hockey game. It wasn't UMass Lowell; it was Northeastern versus Maine.
That's a great game, dude.
Yeah, not even 700 people showed up.
Well, that makes sense. I think if I'm a Northeastern kid, I'm probably going to stay in the city.
There was more Maine
not
fans
coming
there.
down for that.
More Maine fans than
really
Northeastern fans. Yeah,
interesting. I'll give them credit. Yeah, I mean that's always it's always funny when you see Maine on the schedule because BC will go up there for 2. It's never a home and home, or Maine comes down to Chestnut Hill for 2.
So Northeastern's hockey rink has been demolished, and they're building a new one. So they're with a home rink for this season and next season.
Oh, so is that the plan? They're using Songus?
So they use it. I think they've had 3 home games. They actually played UMass Lowell. But Northeastern was the home team
oh my God.
So I wonder if they're doing that. Some teams they're playing, like they play at BU. They're the home team, but they're in
Agganis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Did Maine win?
Yeah, I believe it was.
That's fantastic.
4-3 or 3-2. They won by a goal.
Love that,
which is great for me because I've had a history of working these details and going into overtime. So I was like,
Oh,
they were winning by a goal. I'm like, oh, come on, don't go. I just want to get out of here.
he's affecting everybody's parlays on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a horrible weekend. We had a home and home with BU, and we got clapped in both games.
Oh,
That helped Providence. Providence clinched Hockey East, and we were 12. Like, we're hovering on the not going to the dance line right now, which is
oh,
really
really?
annoying.
Jesus.
Yep. We're not like this year, which is fascinating because we have massive talent, and this weekend looked like we just discovered fire and then hockey, and it was just really tough to watch, which is annoying because I said usually when we win the Bean Pot, that turns into hockey's regular season, hockey's tournament, and then the big one. Like that's always the cascade. And yeah, the Bean Pot, beating BU in the Bean Pot might have been like bad juju. I don't know. Somebody pissed in our Cheerios. It's not good right now. But who knows? We'll see what happens. That's coming to a theater near us. Where do you guys stand with the whole conversation around our dear friend Jason Tatum? Like, and what are your concerns? Do you think it screws up the juju when he comes back because they're playing a certain way? And do you think there's going to be? I think there's always been a pull between the two egos. But do you think it gets worse when he comes back, or do you think he's coming back? I mean, I think you both said he's coming back, but where do we stand right now?
Go ahead, Billy. You get a big smirk on your face. Go ahead.
Have you seen
He wants to open with "I hate Joe
documentary?
Mazzulla," then he's going to make the rest of his statement. Go ahead.
Have you seen the little documentary he's released?
No,
I saw the first.
I heard about it though.
The first one, but I haven't seen all of it.
Yes,
it's not good.
What do you mean? And which
he is a huge mama's boy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all do that. Yeah.
So Scotty, when you had your surgery, I know you're not a professional athlete, but when you had your surgery,
one of my chins gave it away.
He's a goddamn specimen.
When you had your surgery, did you wait thinking, "Oh my God, am I ever gonna walk again?"
No, I never thought. I thought like, am I ever going to walk normal? Like because when I started walking, my foot would kind of like, you know what I mean, like go to the side.
Like the clips I've seen of this, he does not come out looking very good.
Really interesting.
Yeah, but they would tell it. There was I don't know if it was part of the documentary or if someone else was reading something that happened to him before. When he was at Duke, his mother had to come to the stadium to be there for him to hear the news. He was not going to be able to play that night when he sprained his ankle. Jason Tatum didn't want to hear the news without his mother there.
I mean, that's I guess a little weird, but
yeah,
I don't know. What does this have to do with him
coming out? It's like you probably shouldn't have done this. This doesn't make you look very good.
Yeah. Well, and the other piece of that isn't there. The final episode of this documentary is supposed to drop on the same night that NBC has a game, and are they trying to coincide his return with that final episode? I heard some speculation that was the case too. Like it's all really being orchestrated to make sure they're maximizing eyeballs, and I completely appreciate that. But
yeah, but the 14th isn't NBC. That's NBA TV.
Oh, okay.
Unless they flex that. The only
that might be a totally different. That might be a totally different thing though. That's a whole other theory about 314 because 314 is the area code for St. Louis.
Yeah, because Bill Simmons I know has been like adamant that he's coming back Friday against Dallas. That's what I've read. Like he's adamant that he's going to come back then, which is an ESPN game, so it's still nationally televised, but whatever.
Yeah.
Here's your question around like, will he mess up the juju? No, I don't think he'll. Will it take some acclimation to get in there and change things up a little bit? Yeah, it's going to take some time, and he'll be limited in minutes and stuff. But I don't see it as something that's a negative for this team. They're playing great, and will he? Who's basically you look at it this way: whose minutes are like who's going to lose minutes, right? Shireman's going to lose minutes. I think you'll see Harper Jr. might lose a little bit of minutes. Garza will lose minutes. There's a few guys like that those guys are going to lose minutes.
Mhm.
I don't see Gonzalez losing minutes. Obviously, Pritchard's not going to lose any. Hauser's not going to. The core guys, Keita, Vuvicic, none of them are going to lose minutes. That's not what's going to happen here. But I think to put them over the top, they need Tatum. I don't know if they can win the championship without him. I really don't. And they're playing some phenomenal basketball. I will say this has been Missoula's best year by far, coaching wise. Keeping them focused and the way that it's gone. I think they're, I don't know if they've exceeded my expectations yet, but they're right around there. They're closing in on exceeding my expectations for the season because it's been great. It's been a lot of fun to watch. And Chris Chernick and I got into a really good debate about the current state of the NBA. And you will always say to me that, we watch like Billy and others and Corey and, on the show, we'll just turn on a game, right? And we'll turn on a regular game, like the Rockets versus the Spurs or whatever.
Sure.
And Chris and I got into this really good conversation because we do that, him and I do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I will turn on a game, and depending on who's playing, it's whether I'm going to last 5 minutes or 48, because there's so much bad basketball right now being played in the NBA. You could watch.
Leave LeBron alone. Go ahead.
You could watch. That's a whole drama thing. You don't even want to get it, like the JJ Redick and Luka getting into it the other night and stuff and all that. I love how that's just on fire.
It's pure leadership.
Burn,
pure leadership. Yes.
Yeah. But there's there's so many teams out there that, have exciting talent, but they're just not either well coached. Their scheme is horrible. They just shoot too many threes. They're lazy. There's so many things out there right now that it's just one team is just clearly better than the other. And it's not always great basketball to watch. So yeah, we went through the list, and out of the 32 teams, I think him and I landed on, it was actually not bad. It was like 14 teams that you could legit sit down and watch 14 teams between both conferences. The whole
there's only 3 other teams I'll watch right now, and that's Denver, Dallas, and San Antonio.
Dallas is, do you only watch them for Cooper, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Which I get, but they're tough to watch too, though.
Yeah.
They're hard to watch. But I didn't include them in my
Joker
14.
and then Cooper and then Wemby. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's for those three in particular.
But it's not just.
But San Antonio's really good.
Guys.
I mean, Joker is just
he's phenomenal,
unbelievable player.
But that whole team they've bought into the system, and it's the ball movement. It's legit basketball, and it's. That it's so frustrating because there's so many kids with really good talent and they just get in their own way. Like I flipped on, and I think Washington was playing, I can't remember, Detroit, and I flipped it on, and
Detroit's another team I'll watch.
God, it was a joke. It was an absolute joke.
Wizards are really bad.
Yeah, and it was just really, really poor, and I just all right, I'd last 5 minutes and then I'm done.
I gotta go.
So the product itself is bad,
Scotty. So what they're proposing the anti-tanking rules that they want to put, are those officially in, or are they still in proposal mode?
No, they have to go through the whole process of getting signed off by the Players Association and stuff, and then the owners and all that. All of it has to get signed off, but actually, I don't know if the Player Association actually has I don't know if they have it. They don't have as much power as the NFL Player Association, but or maybe I don't know. I think they do with salaries, but anyway, but yet they're not in yet. I kind of like where Adam Silver is going.
Yeah,
and honestly,
I liked what I heard also.
Yeah, he is on he's at a very weird point in his regime, whatever his legacy, because he's done some really, really cool stuff, but he's also let a lot of stuff slide. And I feel like there's going to be something coming up that like he's going to have to make some adjustments. And I think that's why he also realizes that too, especially with the tanking stuff. Like the NBA Cup is a joke, but the premise is spot on because all he was trying to do was say, I want you guys to play hard every night. Don't tank. And he tried it.
Yeah.
And he tried it with the NBA Cup and it didn't work. But now he's doubling down and saying, all right, well, you're going to lose, draft pick or you know what I mean? So it's and then he actually, no, I take that back. He doubled down on the fact, like, if you don't play as many games, you're not going to be the MVP. You're not going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's-
I think
and LeBron just hit that the other day.
that's gonna kick him in. He wasn't in the running anyway, but
No, I know, but he's officially not viable.
It's
for
gonna
anything now.
bite them in the ass this year with that because there's gonna be no Shea, no Jokic, no Doncic. It's basically Cade and Jaylen Brown, and I think Wemby's gonna be close whether or not he makes the minimum or not.
Yeah, because he missed a couple of weeks. And you know what's funny? I was talking to Chris about this. Jaylen Brown, probably watch Jaylen Brown win the MVP, and then the first reaction will be, oh, just like the NBA championship. Well, he won it because there was nobody else in the running. It was an easy path for him to win the MVP. Like, it's just so. He's had an MVP year.
Well,
get out of it.
I think of it more like, oh my god, if he wins it before Tatum wins it.
See, I don't think they like. I know people like to think that. I don't think the two of them are like that. I really don't. I don't think
them, but perception outside of
yes,
them.
yes.
It's
Which is
be like,
and that's where like I give Missoula a ton of credit because I think Missoula looks at it as constantly looks at everything as an opportunity, right? I swear to God, when you picked that up, I saw like the label. I thought you were knocking back like a friggin' beer, and I'm like,
yeah. What are we all drinking? What's happening? What do you got, Scotty? What have you been sipping?
It's a very large gin and tonic. It's been a day.
Oh, what is your preferred gin?
For me is Hendrix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever had Botanist?
Yes, very good.
Yes,
very good.
Yes,
it is very, very, very good. I've had a lot of different types of gin. Ryan Reynolds gin is actually pretty good. Aviation.
What is that?
I think Aviation.
Aviation. Okay. All right.
It's expensive, but it's good. It's definitely that's a nice.
None of them are sponsors yet. Back to your thoughts.
No. Anyway, yeah. So I think when Tatum does come back, and I do think he's coming back, they'll also work him up, right? It's something that he's not going to play 30 minutes, so I think it's a good time to get him back here, like the early to mid-March, get him going a little bit. He gives him, 6 weeks essentially to tune up for the playoffs, and gets a little bit more familiarity and gets him into the groove and stuff by, the middle of April, he's, playing his usual minutes and stuff. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be as much of a detriment to the team as people are putting in there. Also, Jason Tatum is an all-world player. Like, he is a really, really good player. And I really think that, it'd be foolhardy for fans to be like, nah, we don't need him. Like, people that say that, I think to me are just out to lunch. I don't know.
They were showing the odds to win the championship, and the Celtics were 4th. Current odds, and that's
without him in the mix. Yes,
that's speculation that he's coming back, I believe.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So is it Detroit, San Antonio, Denver,
I think
OKC?
It was OKC.
OKC, Detroit, Denver, us.
Actually, I don't think Detroit was ahead of the Celtics. I think the other 3 were San Antonio, Denver, and OKC.
They had like the best record in the NBA for like 8 weeks.
But I think the whole thing with like OKC 2 seasons ago, they had a really good record and stuff, but they were young, first time really in the playoff push.
Oh, yeah.
They got bounced. I think a lot of people think that Detroit will get their feet wet, get bounced, and then next year maybe they'll put on a real run.
I don't think so, because they got their feet wet last year. And they got bounced by us, right? Or is it New York? I can't remember, but they got bounced, and I feel like that was them getting their feet wet. So I feel like this year
But they were a lower seed last year. I think they're talking, where you have a higher seed and you're expected to win, and now different pressure on them. I don't know. That's what everyone's talking about.
Makes sense.
So we didn't do a show last week. Did anyone watch Team USA hockey men's game against Canada?
So we were in the middle of our KW event, and we were actually in session, and everybody, obviously, because it wasn't like it was a New England thing. Everybody, you looked across the row, and 90% of the guys had their phones open on their laps watching. And of course, our in-house lender, our dear friend Brad Kelly, was like right behind me watching it. And Kaylee was on her phone, logged in on DirecTV watching it. So I had people all around me watching it, and you just gotta, we scored. Like we just kept getting the incremental. And then we were out of the session, getting into the elevator, going to the next thing when they won, which was everybody's watching it, but like would have been great to be sitting watching the whole thing without being at a work event, but such is life.
I know there were people complaining about the time. I thought the time was perfect.
Oh,
8 o'clock in the morning, great for me.
Outside of Keller Williams family reunion always being on the weekend, like, why am I in a Sunday morning session? Ask Gary Keller. So that was fascinating. But the chances that we were in a gold medal game with Canada too, unreal that both happened in overtime. Just women's and men's.
I missed
unbelievable.
So I was at the fire station for the women's game, and I missed every goal because I was going out on a call every time USA scored in that game.
Yeah,
it was like overtime was just getting ready to start. Got a call, and they scored by the time we got back. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, we were at because the kids were on winter break for Maine, because Maine and Massachusetts, right, that week, and so we were actually at Buffalo Wild Wings, awesome. Right next to you, Timmy, and watching the game, and then we were like, Ava got super into it. She was like, we were all dialed in, and then I, of course, as the game went on, it was like, we got close to Logan's, like, you had to drop him off at work, so we listened to the game like on the way, or to drop him off, and after they scored right basically as we were like pulling into the house. After we dropped them off, so it was pretty. That was. I mean, they both games were absolutely awesome. So much fun to watch.
Yeah, it was. I was very emotional with that win. I thought it was awesome. Fucking.
I will say though,
Canada off for something.
Yeah, right. I'll say this though, like, it is funny seeing like people, I think like Portnoy and other people like came out, and like there was like a shirt where it's like, things that USA is better than Canada, whatever, and there was only one thing left, and it was hockey, and they like crossed it off, and I'm like, no. Now that back, we haven't won since 1980.
Yeah,
all right.
It's been a bit.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
That's why it was so good, because it was like they hadn't won anything. They've won the World Juniors a couple times, the U.S. team, and so Tim, you'll appreciate this one. So the Chelmsford Police Facebook page posted a thing. Congratulate. They said Chelmsford's own Jack Eichel, right?
Nope.
And I went in and corrected. Amen. I said, correction. Jack Eichel always says he's from North Chelmsford. It's North Chelmsford's own. And Jack Eichel liked my post.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. North Chelmsford zone. Yes. Yep.
I got to reach out. Like, I know one of his aunts. I got to reach out and try and get it and see if he'll come on our podcast sometime.
Oh, Eichel?
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. I mean, I'll have to take the week off. He's a BU kid, but that's all right. You guys can interview him. Listen,
and he's a no-show
listen.
kid, so the 2 strikes against him, right? In your
North
eyes?
Chelmsford and BU. You know what? It sucks to be you. Oh boy.
Is there like a South Chelmsford and
No, it's just
and
Chelmsford,
then
North Chelmsford.
No,
That's all.
so
Well,
there
technically you can
is
be East Chelmsford.
South,
Yes.
but no one gets called out except for North Chelmsford.
Yeah.
It's the only part of Chelmsford
Yes.
that the other part of Chelmsford says, "Oh, you're from North Chelmsford."
Yes.
They look down on us.
Listen. So if you've ever watched, oh, I love it so much. If you've ever watched South Park, you know when Cartman, they're going to visit Kenny and they're crossing the tracks and he's like, in the guitar. Like, you when we would go visit Rubber Shoe's cousin, Brian, lived in North Chelmsford as well. And you would come like down the back roads from my neighborhood and we would cross the tracks to go over to North Chelmsford. Like it was symbolic. So yes. So there's Chelmsford, North Chelmsford. You will not hear people say East Chelmsford, although there are, but it's Chelmsford, North Chelmsford. And Jack Eichel skated on the ponds in North Chelmsford and then went to BU. And I would love to see him come home to the Bruins. That would be fantastic. But I think he's probably doing quite well where he is.
He gets paid too much.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, he will not be coming to play with us. The unballyhooed, for those of you that weren't keeping score at home, and I have very little to cheer about over at Chestnut Hill University. The girl that scored the toe drag deke shot was Megan Keller from Boston College. We had 4 girls on the women's team, and that she's skating in when that play starts to develop, and I'm just like, you're fucking like it just you could feel something nasty was going to happen, and she does that deke, and you're like, oh please. And her losing her mind. That was so good. And just both of them to be in overtime. The stat going into the women's game that's ridiculous and why they were so confident that they were going to win. I don't know if you know this. The women's U.S. hockey team was 31-1 going into that game. 31 goals for, 1 goal against. Like they were pasting teams. Yeah. And then they're like fighting their way back into the gold medal game.
Oh,
so
yeah.
come back.
I was going to be so jealous. We're talking women's sports without
Listen, I'm doing my best. I'm holding my end of the canoe, Adam. I'm waiting for you to come back. Yeah, that was fantastic. And then for the men to dot the I and cross the T. So good.
I was worried because I thought for sure if they went into overtime with the 3-on-3 that Canada, I mean, that Mac line, McDavid, Makar and McKinnon, freaking, they're so freaking fast. I was like, there's no way that, and Connor McDavid had 2 breakaways. I was like, and Hellebuck, UMass Lowell's own.
Oh my God,
Connor Hellebuck played a hell of a fucking
out
game.
of his mind. Biblical.
He played a great tournament because they had Swayman in early on, and then. Yeah,
I think Swayman played 1 game.
He only played 1 game. Yeah.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah, Hellebuck was out of his mind. He played great. The one thing that was really interesting with all of it, it goes by like when it starts, you're like, okay, it's on. Like I would have the Olympics on at my office during the day, and you could go home and at 11:30 at night because it was either on NBC or USA Network. Like. If you go like DirecTV had like the Olympic channel and there were 30 different things I could choose from at any given moment. Like that was so cool. And then suddenly it's just over. Like that's always so depressing when it's over. And the next thing we have, which is going to be interesting, watch it transpire or not transpire. Hi, Gavin Newsom. Los Angeles has the Summer Olympics in 2028. And there's not a piece of me that has confidence in LA to figure this out. Like I'm sure they'll figure it out, but it's going to be a little bit of a shit show. Like, every Olympic, we always hear like they were talking about Milan. They're like, they're not down with the hockey rink yet. Like there was always like 2 months away, and they're like, they haven't even started building the stadium yet. Well, I feel like Los Angeles is
going to make sure shit gets done.
I'm sure because that whole fight will be going on because he and Newsom hate each other. But like, yeah, that'll be interesting. I like Los Angeles scares the daylights out of me hosting the 2028 Olympics.
Yeah.
One of our Olympic sports might be running from meth addicts, but we'll find out. We'll see. It'll be fantastic. Let's move to football. My first complaint and my hidden gem. This is going to be. I will draft him in our league, and he will cause me to lose, but I will emotionally draft him. A Chestnut Hill University snub, and I understand because we were what is it? It's a French term. Dog meat. We were dog meat this past year. So nobody should have been paying attention, and they weren't. Lewis Bond, a phenomenal receiver. And this is why he should be given credit. In the era in which he played, on the team in which he played, in the struggle bus that they were on, he finished as a senior as our highest ranking receiver of all time. Now you could laugh and be like, Timmy, it's goddamn Chestnut Hill University. Yes, and right. We've got
number 2.
a Phelan number 2, Todd Gieselman, tight end Todd Gieselman from 1983. No, I'm talking about our dear friend that plays for the Baltimore Ravens. He was pretty good. So we've had some good receivers. So for him to get snubbed, he was not even. And this is a huge snub. I really feel he didn't even get invited to the combine. Like, that's fascinating to me. And we don't have a lot of kids that should have been invited to the combine. Lewis Bond should have been invited. So if Foxborough is listening, they should keep an eye on him, because he could be an under the radar kid, and he will be one of my ridiculous rookies that I draft in fantasy football for no apparent reason, just for the good juju. He's a super stud, and he'll make somebody's roster, and he will be a starting wide receiver in the next couple of years for sure. He will gin up. Anyway, there's my complaint about that. Do we think that Max Crosby's coming this way? I agree with you, Scotty, but I heard last night, my dear friend Coach Slattery, who I think Scotty's met in the past, he said that he heard he's currently working out with UFC fighters, and there's a chance he'll leave the NFL and get into the UFC.
Yes, I saw.
What?
He sparred with Strickland from UFC. I saw a video of it. He's not fighting in the UFC. Put it this way: Strickland was taking it easy on him, and he was beating the fuck out of him.
Well, yeah, I can't imagine a football player. I think they're also educated at this point. Like, you see so many players now, like, okay, I got my money, I'm getting out. And you're like, why are you retiring early? Because I want to be able to tie my shoes and talk to my kids when I'm 50. That's why, right? And I give them credit for doing that. So I find it very hard to believe that you would go from such a combative sport like football and slamming your head on almost every play, especially being an edge rusher. And then, like, now I'm going to take the equipment off and let people kick me in the ear until they grow into cauliflower. Like, I don't know if that's my next move as a football player.
I don't know what's going to happen, obviously, but it's going to get ugly there, because the Raiders are saying they're not trading him. Like, people are calling them, they're answering their phone, but they're not going to get rid of him.
I just saw a blurb on ESPN that sources close to ownership feel he's staying with the team.
Yeah. Well, I don't think
he's a large boy.
Wants to stay with the team.
Yeah, he's a large boy. If he decides to stay home, he's not coming to camp. He's not with the team.
Yeah. I think
you can find him all you want.
Holdout situation, and eventually they'll have to trade him. But I don't think he's getting traded before the season starts.
Yeah,
it might be a Micah Parsons type thing.
Where do you think he goes? What's logical?
I mean,
I think if anywhere he's going to NFC. I don't know if they trade him in the AFC. You know, I'd be surprised if they did. And you know, with his type of personality, I could see him going to like the Rams or something like that. You know, going to LA. I don't know. I have no idea. It'd be interesting. I mean, they're not going to trade him within the division. Definitely not. And then he's not coming to New England because Brady won't let that happen. Let's be honest. Like, that's not going to happen.
I completely appreciate that. I completely appreciate that. I don't see
that. To me, the more interesting thing is like all the rumors about AJ Brown. Like, that's
I was just going to go there. Do you think that's real though? Does that feel real to you though?
Only because of him and Vrabel,
the relationship,
history. Yeah. They've got a really good history together. He was pissed when they fired him, and I think it's a situation where it'd be a good fit.
Stefan's out, so we get our leader
out,
right?
One of the things they've talked about is that if they can trade for AJ Brown and get like basically like if they want to return, like Philadelphia gets a return that Seattle got with DK Metcalf when they went to the Steelers, right? That type of return, you kind of do that. restructure Stefan's or figure out a way to, work Stefan's contract, restructure with him because, hey, now you have a number, you have a number one, you're the number two or whatever. You have 1A, 1B, however you want to word that with him. But now he has a lot of help, right? And then, that's a massive win in your corner for that. So to me, I think you pull the trigger if you can, depending. It's what you get. Metcalf was what, a second rounder and they exchanged like a second rounder and like a fifth, or like they exchanged fifth picks or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was.
And then you grab Lewis Bond in the 9th round. There isn't a 9th round. I'm making a point. Listen, come on.
Undrafted free agent. Just like Chisholm.
Be the best UFA ever. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. I'd love to see them do something with the edge. And if it turns out to be AJ Brown at wide receiver, just being honest, I don't see that happening. I don't know. I feel like everybody's so positive it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. And then
it was pretty rough in Philly. I mean, it wasn't a great relationship there at all.
I get that. I'm not saying he won't leave Philly. I just don't think he'll matriculate to Foxborough. I feel like he's going to go anywhere but here. I mean, what a massive move yesterday. Dave Montgomery to the Houston Texans.
Did you see all the other moves today? Like the Kyler Murray's going to get released.
Yes.
The All-Pro center who was 27 years old, to your point, Timmy, from the Bears, just retired, like out of freaking nowhere. Daniel Jones is getting $38.8 million because the Colts are like, yeah, we'll go ahead and get ahead.
That's going to go. That's going so sideways.
Oh my God, it's going to be a
terrible idea. Terrible
Absolute nightmare. There's a lot of stuff. It's been a kind of a crazy start to the year. Tua, obviously, we all expected Tua to be gone. Tua is getting released as well. There's a lot of moves that have already.
When's the beginning of the new NFL season?
The
11th.
Yeah, the 11th.
Yeah.
Which is when
I know they had
people.
Tags had to be in by 4:00 today.
Today
they were being tagged.
Yep. Yeah. That's why, you saw people like Pickens got tagged.
Pickens got tagged.
Trey Hendrickson did not get tagged. So if you were able to edge rush to me, there's potential there.
Alec Pierce did not get tagged, which was another name that they're saying could be.
Yep. And to me, I would, if you want to ask who would I rather have, AJ Brown or Alec Pierce? I'm taking Alec Pierce.
Okay.
A, he's younger. He's a lot younger.
Yep.
B, you can get him, I think, on a decent deal. C, he's 6'2". You know what I mean? He doesn't look big, but he is. The kid's a stud. He's an absolute stud. And he also caught 68 passes, and I think he hit just under 1,000 yards or hit 1,000 yards. He's a playmaker. And you also had Daniel friggin' Jones throwing to him this year, or not even actually for
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, he had Grandpa throwing.
Phillip Rivers, good.
Grandpa Rivers.
You forget how Twilight Zone this NFL season was.
Well, you look at the Colts. The Colts season alone, everyone kept and bashed the Pats throughout the year on their easy schedule, and it was just oh, whatever. Colts had just an easy schedule, just as easy because of their way that their record finished. Right, everyone was saying they're cream of the crop. The Colts are legit, and all that stuff. They were 6-0. And they were 8-2 or whatever it was, and then just absolutely plummeted till they're out of the playoffs. They didn't even make the playoffs, which is wild to me. It's it's a ranked top 10 teams that didn't make the playoffs after starting a certain record, and that's why I always shake my head when Pats are people shit on the Pats oh yeah, they had an easy schedule. You play who you play, fucking let it go. Actually, I don't think I talked to you guys.
It's going to show up this year. The schedule this year is a madness.
Yeah, I wasn't on the show since the Super Bowl. I just realized that. I don't think I've even. Yeah, it was a shitty night.
Thank you. We got Scotty's 4 cents. It was a shitty night. I'm gonna make Billy's day, and I think somebody should write this down. I got to tell you, one of the freshmen coming into the NFL out of the draft from a phenomenal football team. God, it pains me to say that out loud. That I'm so excited about it is Jeremiah Love. I just can't wait to watch this kid play in the NFL. He's a fucking stud. He was robbed of a massive stage. They should have been in the fucking dance. There, I said it. My dad is spinning like a top. and the fact that I'm seeing projections right now that he's going to go to the Chiefs. Like I was talking to Bubba about it the other day. I'm like, I love this kid. Can't wait to watch this kid play in the NFL. I think, and I actually love that this is all happening to him. I love that he's under the radar. I mean, the smart people, and I don't mean me, the smart people around the NFL are talking about him, but like the average Ricky Tikki Tavi is not talking about Jeremiah Love. I think he's going to come in under the radar. He's obviously going to get drafted by a good team. And I anywhere but the fucking Chiefs. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Anywhere but the Chiefs. Like just can we just throw him in some nondescript
get a
NFC
love
team that I can
jersey
get
from
behind?
Kansas City.
Oh my God, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm so excited for this kid. I hope he lands anywhere but there.
Fanatics is dropping the ball. Speaking of jerseys, they have not made any Roman Anthony Team USA gear
Yet.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yet.
It starts Friday.
No, I know. I know. I'm just
I
saying.
check it every day. I'm like, all right, today's going to be the day.
Of course you do. Models.net.
I feel like they already made all the World Baseball Classic stuff, and that's it. They not going back and adding
Interesting.
anything.
Yeah, because like Bostonians would buy 1 million of those.
Oh yeah, yep.
4,000%. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. Have we had all of our thoughts? Have we cleared our thoughts for the week? Do we think?
Well, in case I'm not on next week,
I know. Well, you have to bring your sousaphone with you to the firehouse.
But I'll bring
special guest next week. Special guest next week.
So in a week from Monday, I will be in New Jersey seeing the Bruins against the New Jersey Devils.
Oh,
and I will see the golden goal scorer Jack Hughes.
Oh, there you go. I was like, what are we doing?
I know where he was going with it either.
Yeah, I have no idea what's happening. The Golden Knights, that's Vegas. I don't know.
You thought I was going to say golden shower or something. I know.
Golden shower. Nope. You're the one at the firehouse right now. I don't know what you boys do in your free time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Put on your muck boots. All right. So we are back next Wednesday. Rubber Shoes might be live from the fire department. Scotty Dukes will be here. I will be here. And our dear friend, Alex Miniak, he is the voice of Petco Park. If you've ever had the pleasure of going out to beautiful downtown San Diego, which is German for a whale's vagina, according to Ron Burgundy. If you've ever been there, you hear the dulcet tones of him welcoming you to the park. 91% of the team is Latin. So he has perfected trilling the R. I'm going to make him read the lineup top to bottom for sure. And he is also the voice, and this is where we all dork out. Our dear friend is also the voice of MLB The Show. So if you're fortunate enough to have that game on any of your gaming consoles, they have now, unfortunately, he was originally the voice of MLB The Show. You can now go in and choose from others. You shouldn't. He's got the best voice in baseball in America. You can go in and choose different announcers. Yeah. I noticed that. I don't know when they did it because I reached out to him like, hey, dude, there's other people on the game. He's like, yeah, you can choose. Like, you can choose. They've got a female PA there. And they've got, I think there's one other guy. But, like, if you put them next to Alex, it's sort of laughable.
It's not even close.
Yeah, it's not even close. So MLB The Show, we will have Alex Miniak joining us next week to get his inside dope on what he feels might transpire in this next coming MLB season. Of course, we'll talk World Baseball Classic, so hopefully Rubber Shoes will have his microphone plugged in. And we'll do that next Wednesday. We want to thank Joe and Leslie and everybody over at AAA Work Trucks for hanging out with us, tolerating our stupidity. You can join us online at atbshow.com. You can go and subscribe, like, share, and comment, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Have a great week.